on episode 708 of the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast. We discuss the first principles of starting or restarting a fitness program. Learn how to master what you need to know so you can get the best results possible from your fitness program. Welcome to the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast, the largest and longest running health and fitness podcast dedicated to people over 40. Whether you're looking to lose weight, get stronger, or improve your health and age better, this podcast is for you. I'm your host, Coach Allan, an online health and fitness coach and author of the Wellness Roadmap. Each week, we dive into practical tips, expert advice, and inspiring stories to help you take control of your health and fitness. If you're ready to look, feel, and perform your best, no matter your age, this podcast is the perfect place to start. Let's get you on the path to a healthier, fitter, and more energetic version of yourself. I hope you'll join us each week, and together we can unlock your full potential. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast. I'm really glad you're here. It's been kind of an interesting year, hasn't it? We're already rolling up into mid-August, almost the end of August. I am still in North Carolina, if you can believe it. Still sitting here, still doing my thing, but because things just aren't going the way I thought they would. But we'll get it done. We'll get it done. I wanted to mention something because I started talking to various people about the new way that I'm rolling out my program starting now here as we go into September. I'm going to move to basically just doing launches. I'm not going to allow for my one-on-one clients. I'm not just going to leave that open enrollment and be doing enrollments all the time. It's really just a little too much on me, particularly at this point in my life with everything that's gone on this year. So I'm going to move to basically having open enrollment periods. And the first of those open enrollment periods is going to be in the middle of September. And this will basically be your time to learn more about the program, get involved. But I will say that this time will probably be the best time to join, and for a lot of different reasons. But one is the bonuses that I've chosen to go with this time. Typical to the normal way that I do my launches, at least recently within the last year, I am offering a couple bonus weeks. So if you sign up for the 12-week program, there's a couple of extra weeks in there. If you go longer, I'm actually including more weeks. So some bonus weeks that make it basically worth it. Meaning, if you come in for 6 weeks, 6 months, you're going to get about a month off for free. You can get a month of training for free. So this is a really good time, just that bonus alone. But I'm also going to offer my freeze weeks, and this was a concept I came up with last year around September. Because I know a lot of people think, well, I don't really want to get started now because there's Thanksgiving and there's Christmas, and I'll be traveling and I won't want to train or I won't want to track. And so those periods, yeah, they do get in the way. And granted, we're also coming up into the fall. And so cold and flu season, COVID was supposed to be really bad last year. Here it's just as bad this year. So you get COVID, I want you focused on your health and not necessarily your training. So you have freeze weeks, which basically means you call a freeze week. You're not training that week. You're taking that week off. And we just tack that on to the end. So would love that no one needs freeze weeks. That would be awesome if we can stay consistent for the whole 12 weeks. But I'm also a realist. And so taking care of yourself, having time with family, those are also very important to maintaining a healthy body and finding longevity. We need that downtime. We need that recovery. And so if you want to call a freeze week, you can call it. We have 2 of them, so you don't lose anything. We just tack those on to the end. So freeze weeks went over very well last year. I'm glad to be able to offer them again this year with the program. And then finally, the next bonus, and this is probably one that is probably the biggest limiting factor of why I can only bring in so many people and coach them, because this is the one that is really going to take a lot out of me. But I'm going to offer a live virtual session for your first workout. So basically, what we do in the program is we do a kickoff call. And on the kickoff call, we come up with your first workout. And a lot of times, people, when they're just getting started and they're not sure what they're doing, they feel a little uncomfortable. And so, what this will be is we just get on a live Zoom call and you set me up on a tripod if you can. But basically, just to watch you do your work, provide coaching cues as if I were in the room with you. This is I can't load plates. I can't unload plates, and I can't count. Oh, I can probably count reps, but probably won't. But I'm there to look at your form and make sure that you're doing things right. That way, you start off on a really good foot, knowing the exercises, knowing you're doing them right. This is like a little jump start, and so it's something that I can't do a lot of. So I'm limiting this launch, this basically this open enrollment, to 12. I'm only going to take on 12 clients for this launch. And that includes any existing one on one clients that want to stick through, sign up, and have me watch one of their workouts. I'll be glad to do that. So if you come in, I'm going to have to limit this to 12. And after the 12, we're done. And so this is the time. If you've thought about online training and you want to know more, this is the time. And so, because the people I've talked to so far about this realize what a big deal this is. In fact, my coaching friends think I'm insane for offering it, but I'm going to. And I think it's going to be really, really good. I think it's going to really get some people moving and seeing results really quickly. So I am offering it, but it seems that there's more people interested, a lot more people interested than I could possibly take on. So I'm starting a waiting list now, and so the best way to ensure that you know when this launch is going on, when I'm going to open enrollment, and then of course when I close it, is to be on the waiting list. I'm limiting it to 12, so the first 12 that come through, if they all become clients, that's it. It's done. It's over. The waiting list will still be there, but that's your opportunity. So if you want to join the waiting list so you do know what's going on with this new enrollment, go to 40plusfitness.com /waitlist. 40plusfitness.com /waitlist. You can join the waitlist. You'll be the first to know when I open enrollment, and basically you can get on the call. All the bonuses I talked about are only going to be available for this period only. So you want to be on that wait list so you get the notice and don't miss it. The wait list, I mean, I'm going to start on Monday. Podcast doesn't come out until Tuesday. So the first chance that people listening to the podcast are going to have to hear about the enrollment period is on Tuesday. A day will already be done, and I may already have my 12. So you don't want to miss it. So get on the wait list so you know ahead of time and are ready to get on a call and figure out if 40 Plus Fitness is right for you. So today, I wanted to talk about the first principles of starting or restarting a fitness program. A lot of times, how we start is how we finish. And so I want to make sure you have your best foot forward when you're starting your fitness program. And quite frankly, I came up with 10 first principles. Okay, these are the things that if you do these 10 things, you're going to get the best results, period. And so I want to go over each one and talk about them. They're not in an order that is like the most important to the least important at all. They aren't. But I will say that number one is extremely important, as is number 9 and number 10. So here we go. Number 1, thou shalt not injure thyself. Yeah, when I first started this, I thought I was going to call them the 10 commandments of starting, or restarting, but no, I'm calling it first principles. But really, with regards to doing any change of movement and learning anything, doing any resistance training, running, anything, any movement, you want to make sure you don't do things that are going to hurt yourself. So that takes two basic things. The first one is you need good form. You should always be trying to move with good form. If you add weight or load to bad form, you're risking injury, and it's a very likely thing that you will injure yourself. So if you get out there and your running form is not good, and you try running, regularly, you're probably going to injure yourself if you use bad form. The other is to gradually progress. A lot of times people go in and they start with too much weight. They do too much. I'll tell you the story. You probably read the story if you read my book about me trying the insanity workout. The insanity workout with Sean T was great. I bought the CDs. I got the benchmark workout, and I did it. And I couldn't get out of bed the next day. My body was not prepared for the level of effort I put into that first workout. And as a result, back then, I didn't do any more of them. Literally did not do a single one of those exercises. The videos were still on my iPad when I turned it into the company years later. I never did a one of them. And it was because I just wasn't fit enough to do that first workout, and I didn't pay attention to that. So you want to make sure that you're not taking on too much, that you do gradual progress as you go. And this is going to help. So if you have good form and you do gradual progress, you are going to see improvement. So, first principle number one is always, thou shalt not injure thyself. Okay. First principle number two is sleep. Too often people ignore sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead is kind of a common phrase, but the reality is sleep is where the magic happens. You're not building muscle, you're not improving anything while you're doing the work. In fact, you're tearing yourself down. It's during sleep that your body's rebuilding. It's where things are rewiring and everything's getting cleaned up to be ready to go again. So if you're not getting good quality sleep, you're not recovering properly, which we'll talk about in a minute. But if you're not getting good sleep, you're not going to improve as well as you should. So you want to make sure that you're getting good sleep. And that's a challenge, I know, but it is very important if you want to see good progress in your fitness program. Next is protein. You want to make sure you're getting adequate protein. And too often, particularly when we're older, we're not getting enough protein. We're eating a lot of processed foods. We're eating a lot of grains. We're eating a lot of plant stuff. And people are avoiding protein. They think they're getting it because they're eating some beans and maybe a little bit of rice or something, but they're really not getting adequate protein. And therefore, if you're trying to build muscle or retain muscle, those teardown sessions that you're having, your body's not going to recover that muscle. It's going to actually lose muscle because you don't have adequate protein for building blocks. Protein is important. Now, it's not something you have to go crazy on, but you do have to make sure that you're getting enough. At a bare minimum, we should be eating about half a gram per pound of body weight of lean mass. So if you say, okay, as a 5'11" man, I should probably weigh about 180 pounds. At 180 pounds of me, what my weight should be, I need to be getting about 90 grams minimum. Now, if you're doing resistance training or any significant cardiovascular or other training, you're going to want to get more than that. So, for someone that's lifting regularly, doing the things to build their body up, I would focus on trying to get as really close to 1 gram of protein per day per pound of body weight. So again, your optimal body weight times one. So again, as a 180 pound, 5'11" guy, I should be getting about 180 grams of protein per day. That may sound like a lot, but if you're focused on the right foods, it's not so hard. And getting protein in each meal, spreading it out throughout the day, makes it a little bit easier. Okay. First principles number 4 is focus and intensity. It's not just a function of doing the work. Like, so I've seen so many people that they're really not focused on the work they're doing. They're flopping the weights around. They're moving the weight, In some cases, not much, but they're moving, but they're not really resisting. They're not really pushing their body because there's no focus and there's no intensity. The weight isn't high enough and they're not really focused on the muscle groups that they're working. And as the result, they're not optimizing their results. This is the same person that gets on the elliptical or the treadmill and stays on there for an hour. They're focused on the television. They're not focused on their workout. So they're not really pushing themselves as hard as they probably could. They're not optimizing their results. So again, once you got going, you want to make sure you stayed focused so your form stays good. You want to stay focused so you're actually progressing at the rate your body can. And that focus and that intensity is what really changes your body. It's what moves the needle when we're working on our fitness and health. Letting yourself zone out and trying to get some things done is not really going to build your fitness the way that you want to. So, if you want to optimize your fitness when you start or restart, you want to really focus on what you're doing and make sure you're using enough intensity to really push your body to change. Okay, number five, the fifth first principle is recovery. Okay, recovery is extremely important. If you can do the same workout every day, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. You should not want to lift weights the next day with the same body parts as you did the day before. Um, I recommend getting at least 48 hours between lifting sessions. In some cases, your body may recover a little bit slower and you might need 72 hours, but you need a break in between workouts to give your body adequate time to recover. And again, that's when sleep is really important. Your body needs that sleep to get everything done it needs to properly recover from a good workout. And then finally, in between sets, when we do a set of an exercise, our body is using energy in the muscle. This is in the form of something called ATP. I'm not going to get into all the technicalities of it, but basically, by taking off one of the phosphorus from an ATP, you create energy in the muscle. That's how the contraction happens. Now, when we do that, we obviously the ATP becomes ADP for having two phosphorus. And our body goes through a process. It's called the Krebs cycle. Some people call it the citric acid cycle. But basically, there's a cycle that's happening in the body that allows the body to recreate that ATP. And when it does, that's when you create additional energy. So a slight rest of 30 seconds, 60 seconds, up to about maybe 3 minutes between exercises gives your body adequate time to recover the energy and therefore be able to perform at a very high level. Not 100%, but at a pretty high level. So if you try to do the same exercise right away, you're not optimizing your results because you just can't do as much resistance as you would otherwise. So take that full 60 seconds between exercise. That's the standard for me is typically 60 seconds, what I'll use. When I'm lifting heavier, I may increase that to 90 seconds or even 2 minutes. I don't typically go longer than 2 minutes unless I'm going really, really heavy with larger muscles. But for the most part, I'm usually going to be somewhere between 60 seconds and 2 minutes for most of my recovery windows. And I do that between each and every set of the same exercise. So my body has an opportunity to recover its energy storage and come back strong for that next set. Okay, so that was number five, recovery. Okay, first principles number six, small over big. Okay, this is a little bit about that when we were talking about that gradual progress, but you want to go for progress, not perfection. Okay, so instead of really worrying about pushing more weight, you want to think about the whole process of making the exercise good. You want to keep good form. You want to make sure your movement patterns are consistent. You want to make sure that you're doing things right. And if you're having to cheat the weight to get it moving, you're not really doing well. And if you're really just focused on, I need to be able to do these really, really easy before I move up, you're not really pushing yourself. So you want to make small progressive movements forward as you go to make sure that you have continual progress. And that's really, really important is you just don't focus on you because you might have days where your energy is just not there. You're just not feeling it. And your workout won't be as good as it was the day before, as the last time you did it, maybe. And that's okay. Your body is what it is. Push yourself to the point where you are pushing yourself, and that's a good workout. It doesn't have to be better, 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 better. Sometimes there's going to be setbacks, and that's okay. We manage those setbacks, we keep coming back. Consistency. Okay. The next is attention to self. Too often, like I said, there's not enough focus, and people aren't really paying attention to themselves. In a gym environment, this can be quite unsafe. But in a general sense, this is really just about being aware of how you feel and giving yourself the grace to move forward in a way that makes sense for you. Because again, things won't necessarily be straight line, but if you're aware of what's going on, you can address what's there. This is the big reason why I like to do the freeze weeks when I do my personal training. I want people to feel comfortable if they're not feeling it. If they're sick, well, you need to take care of that. You don't need to be pushing yourself in the gym if your body's trying to recover from a virus or an infection. You need to be focused on that first. So, paying attention to yourself, knowing yourself well enough, and then knowing when you're also just being a little lazy and not wanting to do the work. That's a whole different matter. But knowing yourself and what makes you work well is really going to be the difference between getting it done and not getting it done. Okay, the next one, first principle, number 8, is to be consistent. I talked about this a little bit a minute ago, but consistency is where growth happens. You're not going to get better every workout. You're not going to get better with one workout. And if you only do this once a month, you're just not going to get what you want. You're not going to move forward. We have to be consistent and we have to do it all the time. We have to just keep doing it. So this is not something where you get to a point and you're done. Hey, I'm fit, done. No, we have to be consistent. We have to keep going. So set this up in a way where you know, okay, I can do this every day for the rest of my life. Okay, I mark out time on my calendar every morning to do my workout. I actually don't like lifting weights in the morning, but it's the best time based on my current work schedule for me to get it done if I want to get it done. I can't, right now, it doesn't make sense for my work schedule for me to take a break in the middle of the day. It did when I was working corporate. It does not today. So I get my workout done in the morning and I do it consistently every day, 5 days a week, sometimes on Saturday, sometimes on Sunday. It just really depends on what I'm trying to accomplish that week. But you have to be consistent if you want to see results. That's where all this really happens. It's not in doing a great workout. It's in doing a lot of great workouts and good workouts and maybe a couple bad ones over time. That consistency is what gets you there when you're doing a fitness program. Okay, first principles number 9. Thou shalt start now. Okay. Like I said, this one's important. This one is one of the most important ones of all of them. Too often we try to put this stuff off. I'll start after the kids get back into school. I'll start after I finish this project. I'll start after the holidays. Okay, well, newsflash, that's over 3 months away. The best time to start is now. And if you think it's better because if you wait, you're going to have more time, more capacity, that's never true. It never pays to wait. It only pays to start. Okay. So get started now, doing what you can with what you have. Maybe you can't put in the full hour to do the whole full workout that you want to do. Can you put in 30 minutes? Can you put 15 in? I had one client, can you put 10 in 3 times a day? And she could. She couldn't do 30 minutes at any one given point in time. She just didn't have the time to do that. But she could do 3 10-minute workouts each day. And she still got there. She still got the work done. So get started today. Today is the day to start. And that leads me to first principles of starting or restarting a fitness program. Number 10, get help. Okay. If you don't know what you're doing or why you're doing it, get help. Get some guidance and definitely get some accountability. Whether you get accountability from a coach like me, or whether you get accountability from your friends, or you join a fitness class or a group or run group, get some accountability. If you don't have accountability, your willpower is going to eventually fail. And when it does, you're out. So there's no consistency, there's no moving forward, and you're much more likely to quit for a long time if you don't have the accountability to really get you rolling until you build the habits and values to keep you going. So number 10 is really, really important, as are number 9 and number 1. I would call those the big 3. You want to get started now, okay? You don't want to injure yourself, so you want to be smart about it. And the best way to do both of those is to get help. Hire a coach so you make sure that you're doing it right, make sure that you're doing it consistently, and do it now. Don't wait. So, again, to kind of go over these 10 first principles. Number 1, thou shalt not injure thyself. Number 2, sleep. Number 3, more protein. Number 4, focus and intensity. Number 5, recovery between workouts and between exercises. Number 6, small over big. Okay, this is about progress, not perfection. Number 7, attention to self. Number 8, be consistent. Number 9, start now. And number 10, get help. If you enjoyed today's show, please take a moment to leave a rating or review and hit that subscribe button on your podcast player of choice. Next time on the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast, we meet Dr. Vonda Wright and discuss her book, Unbreakable, A Woman's Guide to Aging with Power. And before we get out of here, just wanted to remind you, this is a really good time for you to go over there and get on the waiting list, so you'll be the first to hear when we do the open enrollment for one-on-one training. Go to 40plusfitness.com/waitlist today. Until next week, have a happy and healthy week.